What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? Plotter cards in the house, and everybody was excited about the 2022 tens because it had such golden reprints, and I've got my hands on a lot of them, so I'm really happy about those tens. But let's go ahead and take a look at the best-selling cards from the Yu-Gi-Oh 2022 tins. So without further ado, let's get started. And of course, if you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And now let's get into it. So first of all, at number 10, we got ourselves Small World. So this card was pretty good. I've seen it used in a lot of different decks. You can reveal one monster in your hand, choose one monster from your deck that has exactly one of the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense, and banish the revealed monster from your hand face down. Then add from the deck to your hand one monster that has exactly one of the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense as that monster chosen from your deck. Then banish the chosen card from the deck face down. You can only activate one Small World per turn. So definitely seen this being used a lot, so I can see why this is at number 10. I also picked this up for myself because it was, I think when it first came out, like day one, it was like hovering around $1-ish. So I picked up 3 for about the price that you can get it at 1. So not bad. Next we got Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and yes sir, I had to pick this up because I run Eldritch and I didn't want to pay for the original because it was hella expensive. So Lord of the Heavenly Prison is a great card to, one, protect your monsters, or sorry, not your monsters, but your spells and traps that are face down. And additionally, it can summon itself when a trap is activated, I believe. And then it lets you, why don't we just read it actually? If a set spell or trap is activated, you can special summon this card. So spell or trap, then if you activated this effect, you can reveal one set spell or trap directly from your deck, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. So pretty good card, both for protection and a body on the floor. So definitely worth it if you're running any type of spell and trap deck, and my Eldritch deck especially, because Mystic Mind's a problem, so a lot of people are main decking spell and trap removal. So this is a must-have for a lot of different decks. Next we got Albion the Branded Dragon. So this card was reprinted a couple different times now, most notably I would say in the structure deck. But this is such a nice rarity that a lot of people are willing to get their hands on it. So I could definitely see why it's one of the best sellers. It's 94 cents. It's a nice looking rarity, so definitely worth it. So 94 cents, yeah. Branded opening, I'm waiting to get my hands on this one. I was kind of hoping it would get a little bit cheaper, but now it looks like it's hovering around the $4 mark. Very needed overall for any of your Despia / Albaz type maneuvers. And you need 3 of them for sure. So before, I think it was hovering around $20, maybe $30, and now with the reprint it's about $3-4 bucks. So yeah, this thing is really important for a lot of people's decks, and a lot of people waited on this. So at number 7, it's justified. Dragoon. Now this card has nowhere near the impact that it used to have. So it has been consistently getting lower in price, but what it turns out, I believe it was short printed. So that's why it rose. At one point it was like $5, and then it rose to like $12. So this card is insane if you can get it out. The problem is Vertanaconda is also no longer a thing. So that's something that you got to look out for. You can still use the Red Ice Fusion and whatnot. So I think it is still a decent card. Next we got DPE. I picked up one of these for around $5, I believe. Now that Destiny Fusion, or is it Fusion Destiny or Destiny Fusion? I always get them backwards. So now that that's at 3, you can bet your ass that everyone's trying to pick up this card. And on top of that, this card has been terrorizing the meta for a while now. So it has taken a hit since Vertanaconda has been banned, just like the last one here. But overall, I think it's still a solid card. And if Destiny Fusion's at 3, you still have a chance. So especially if you're running heroes. Link into the Vrains. Now I really like this card. Special summon one monster from your hand, but negate its effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one link monster using the monsters you control as material, including that monster. This link summon cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is link summoned this way. If a link monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your grave, you can banish this card. Add one monster from your graveyard to your hand with the same original type as those destroyed monsters. This card is insane. It lets your summoning go off properly. It lets you special summon into a link summon, essentially. Any deck that focuses on links, I would recommend that you check this out. I've already picked up my playset, and I definitely think this is going to be really good going into the future. So definitely worth it, at least for an investment for now. 3, Dark Ruler No More. Yeah, this card was starting to get up there, man. It was reprinted in the Spellcasters, the Spirit Charmers structure deck. you need right now something that's able to just negate everything on the field. So this is a necessary card. I really think that you should be picking up this card, especially because the reprint is at $2 right now. So Underworld, Goddess of the Closed World, everyone wants this card. 4+ effect monsters. You can use one monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card. Great way to get rid of certain annoying monsters your opponent controls. If this card is link summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. It's pretty good. This link summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. So pretty good. Once per turn, your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard. You can negate the activation, and that is a quick effect. So very justifiably so, this card probably works in a lot of different decks. It is generic, so you have the potential to just bring it out. Yeah, so any type of deck that needs a link 4 or link 5, sorry, but you can use one of your opponent's monsters. So effectively, it is a link 4 for you, but then you're using one of your opponent's monsters. So yeah, I definitely recommend that, trying this out in any deck. Nibiru is at number 1. That's interesting. I didn't expect this. All right, so Nibiru, I think, was being heavily underrated. Maybe people weren't using it because it was hovering around the $15 mark at the time, but now it's about $3 with the reprint. So during the main phase, if your opponent normal special summons 5 or more monsters this turn, which a lot of people do, tier elements do that a lot, sprites be doing that a lot. There's a lot of cards that you just spam out a lot of different monsters, you know. And so basically what has happened is you can special summon this card, and then you can summon one primal token, and then you can destroy all the cards that your opponent has on the field. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. It's a great way to get rid of a lot of different cards. A lot of people weren't using this before. I remember watching a couple Cali Effect videos, maybe like a month or 2 ago, and he was saying that this card is really underrated, and he's not seeing it as much. And if I'm being honest, I went to locals on Saturday, this last Saturday, and I didn't see it. It didn't come up once. To be fair, I was running an Eldritch deck, so probably, you know, I summoned like 2 things, so it didn't even have the option of coming up, right? So but yeah, this is a card that's really good against a lot of different decks that are relevant right now. So I definitely think that overall this list is pretty solid. These are really cards that people are looking forward to and looking at. I'm surprised I didn't see like Pot of Prosperity or like Lightning Storm or Forbidden Droplet or anything in here, probably because they're still a little bit more expensive. So that's pretty solid, honestly, because everything you see here is relatively cheap. I think everything here is cheaper than $4 actually. 321. Yep. Oh, actually, besides this one, everything you see here is cheaper than $5, around $5 or less. So yeah, so looks like people are trying to get what was really expensive in the past that has drastically dropped in price due to the reprints. There are other cards, like I mentioned before, that are worth getting, but they are still, like, personally I'm not getting them because they're out of my price range, so probably gonna wait for maybe another reprint or 2 before I can get them, but it's all good. It'll happen someday, right? But anyways, guys, this is Plotter McCard signing out for the day. If you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Plotter McCard signing out for the day, and we will see you in the next video.